Adidas have some amazing football boots on the market right now. In this video, we'll go over the top 5 boots that the brand has to offer. We'll cover the key features of each boot to help you find out what's going to be best for you. I've been able to try on each of these boots and I can let you know what I think they do well and what they don't do so well. At the end of the video, if you are interested in buying any of these boots, I will have a link below where you can get them online at a discounted price. And last but not least, we will be covering these boots in order from the least expensive to the most expensive. First up, we have the Adidas Copa Gloro. Now this is one of the most basic boots that Adidas has in their lineup, but it's also a really solid option. It's one of the most affordable boots that the brand offers, coming in at just $99. It has a really comfortable calf leather upper with great stitching and overall build quality. The most noticeable thing about this boot is probably the iconic fold-over tongue with the elasticated band, and that's really similar to boots that we may have seen from 10 to 20 years ago. I appreciate this design because it gives the boots a kind of retro feel that you don't get from a lot of the other boots on the market right now. The sole plate and stud pattern is really simple with just conical studs that can be used on artificial grass or firm ground. So whatever playing surface you're on, these boots should work for you. If you're on a budget or just looking for something simple, these boots are an absolutely great place to start. They're also a good option if you like more iconic designs from previous decades. Moving on to the second boot on our list, we have the Copa Mundial. Now this boot, as far as quality, is going to be a step up from the previous Copa Gloro. And anyone who's owned a Copa Mundial can attest to the amazing build quality and construction of these boots. I personally have had these boots for probably 3 or 4 years now. I played in them for a few seasons and they have lasted me so well. I have pretty wide feet myself, and as a wide-footed player, there's no boots that stretch as much as these do. In fact, I bought them in my usual size US 10, and by the end of a few months, they had actually stretched at least 1/2 to a full size larger. For that reason, I would recommend sizing down about a half size for anyone interested in the Copa Mundial. Additionally, the leather on these is some of the softest I've ever felt. The build quality on these is great, as I mentioned, and the thing I like the most is that there's 3 metal studs on the sole plate of these boots that help prevent any separation from the upper. These boots were invented over 50 years ago and they haven't really changed since they were first designed. But the reason they haven't changed is because they were pretty much great when they were first created. So at the end of the day, there's not much to improve upon. These boots have gone up in price recently and they retail for about $159, but if you buy these, you're going to have them for years, so I think that they do justify the price. Just don't forget to go that half size down. Up next, we have the third and final full leather football boot that Adidas offers, and that is the Copa Pure. Now, in contrast to the Copa Gloro and the Copa Mundial, the Copa Pure is much more modern and streamlined in its appearance. It replaces last year's Copa Sense model, and in my opinion, this is a big overall improvement. And this is a really unique football boot in that it fits pretty different to any other leather boot that's on the market. The fit is really streamlined and tight, almost like a speed boot. And that shouldn't be a surprise because the Copa Pure actually takes a lot of elements of previous speed boots. For example, the sole plate on the Copa Pure was actually taken from the previous Adidas Nemesis. This lightweight and aggressive sole plate contributes to the kind of snabby feeling that these boots offer. And now with the Copa Pure, we're also getting into the territory where Adidas offers laceless variations as well. Now because the Copa Pure does tend to fit a little bit snug, the laceless variation is great for this model. Overall, I would recommend the Copa Pure for anyone who's looking for a leather football boot, but they want something that feels a little bit more modern in both its fit and its appearance. You can find the Copa Pure Point 1 for about $230, and you can find the laceless Copa Pure Plus for closer to $280. Now up next, we have Adidas's flagship speed boot, and that's the X Speedportal. You may have recently seen Lionel Messi wearing this boot in the World Cup, and it is the lightest football boot that the brand offers. This boot replaces the extremely successful Adidas X Speedflow, and there's a few key changes that you'll want to take note of. First things first, the upper has been redesigned with the new Speedskin 2.0. This new upper is a little bit thicker and has more grip than the previous Speedflow. Now this does come at the expense of it feeling a little bit more rigid as well. Adidas have also recently switched out the previous Carbitex speed frame outsole to a new plastic outsole. Now, although this does seem like a downgrade at first, it actually doesn't make too much of a difference as the new plastic outsole still feels very snappy. The sole plate has these sharp bladed chevron studs, and it's definitely the most aggressive stud pattern you're going to find on any boot on this list. If you're interested in the laceless variation, you would want to check out the Speedportal Plus. The laceless model provides a pretty comfortable fit, but you will want to note that the responsiveness is not quite as good as compared to the lace Speedportal Point 1. I would recommend these football boots for anyone looking for a thin and lightweight boot that offers a barefoot feel on the ball, because that's what these boots are all about. You can get the Speedportal Point 1 for about $250 and the Speedportal Plus for around $280, but you can often find them discounted. And finally, last but not least, we have the Adidas Predator Accuracy. This boot probably has my favorite design of any football boot that the brand offers right now. And that's because I personally love the power boot aesthetic that this boot is pretty much based off of from Predators from 10 to 20 years ago. The new Predator Accuracy replaces last year's Predator Edge, which in my opinion had a pretty rigid upper and was not the most comfortable Predator that's been made. In the new Accuracy model, Adidas have brought in their Hybrid Touch upper, which feels really comfortable, it's pretty pliable and soft when it's on your feet. But obviously, being that this is a Predator model, the thing you're going to notice most are the rubber elements all throughout the upper. And it's these rubber elements that give the Predators more grip than any other football boot on the market. Adidas have focused on mostly concentrating these elements on the instep of the boot, which I think makes the most sense, as that's where you're usually going to be striking the ball when you're both passing it or shooting it. The power facet outsole is pretty much unchanged from the previous model, and that's fine because it does its job, it's pretty aggressive, and really does anything you would need it to do. And another thing I like about this boot is that it does have a pretty wide footing base, so it's going to be good for players that need a little bit more room in the toe box. As with their other high-end models, Adidas does offer a laceless version in the Predator Accuracy Plus. Now this boot will sacrifice a little bit of lockdown as is expected, but you do get the benefit of more rubber elements and a cleaner striking surface on the boot. If you like the design of the Accuracy and you want something that's going to help add a little bit more spin on your passes and your shots, I would definitely check out this boot. The laced Predator Accuracy Point 1 is going to retail for about $250, while the laceless Predator Accuracy Plus will go for around $280. As I mentioned previously, check the link in the description for a discount code that you can use to get them at a lower price. And with that, those are the top 5 boots that Adidas has on offer right now. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite, and thanks for watching the video. I'll talk to you again next time.